Collective, what's good? I'm your wild and free high priest. This is a collective message for all placements, no matter your sign placement, no matter your natal placement. This may resonate with you. I strongly suggest you take only what does. My name is Armando. Thank you for being here. I ask that you hit like if the message resonates. This is a new moon reading, so this may resonate for the upcoming week or the next 28 days or the next 9.5 months or perhaps even the next 2.5 years. You know how we do around here. I'm going to cut to the Sabian image, Libra 29. The moon occurs at around 28.5 degrees of Libra. Happy birthday to the Libra sun folks, and happy birthday to the Scorpio. It's almost Scorpio season. Thank you once again for being here. I'm going to cut to the Sabian image and then I'll be right back. Libra 29, the Sabian Oracle. Mankind's vast enduring effort for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. This symbol is about conscious awareness and how we use the capacity to know and to transfer information from our mind to another mind through communication. This communication can be in the spoken word, the written word, or through dance, body language, or through our deeds. We pass on the biological nature of knowledge through our genes, our conscious knowledge by teaching, our social knowledge by example and training. Genetic memory is another way that things can be passed down from generation to generation. It can be said that knowledge of the universe is within us, but bringing this out into our consciousness is something that occurs over time and through effort. The most likely students are those that are constantly around us, can relate to our activities, and are inspired by our history and love. This often being our friends and family. However, students as well as teachers can pop up anywhere, especially when there's a need for the information to be transferred. With this symbol, there can be an outreaching to others through awareness along with a desire to teach as well as to learn. There's more to wisdom than just knowing. In the end, it's what is done with this knowledge that creates wisdom. It is through knowledge and understanding that we can bridge the gap between ourselves and others. Keywords: interpreting and conveying beliefs and ideas. The desire to pass on something to others, handing down possessions or knowledge. Knowledge being changed, modified, or updated. Teaching by example, wisdom of the ancestors. The gift of knowledge. The caution, a belief that one knows it all. Information, knowledge, or riches inherited by only the select few. Reliance on tradition, fundamentalism, doing what's always been done, regardless of why. Children, William Shakespeare quote, children wish fathers looked, but with their eyes. Fathers that children with their judgment looked, and either may be wrong. Socrates quote, employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writings, so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. Ariel Durant quote, education is the transmission of civilization. I love that name, Ariel. This is anonymous quote. We are the people our parents warned us about. Marcus T. Cicero quote, to be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. So I'm getting a lot of the star energy, and besides that, the more, not necessarily grounded, I would just say the more basic sample, example, or definition would be daydreaminess, after, sort of a bamboozling. It's been a lot, right? And Pluto now has stationed direct, which it is now apparently moving forward, picking up speed through Aquarius. So finally making its full push through the Aquarian house and the Aquarian sign. What this may mean for you is that, yes, you could be dreaming new landscapes, dreaming of new landscapes, dreaming of new projects, maybe feeling too daydreamy after, again, a period of tiredness that was a result, an effect from a lot of hustle and bustle through Pluto and Capricorn through just the last, 2.5, maybe even 5 years, maybe longer. Because of the longer transits, we are experiencing a push by God, the universe, the stars. The stars align very magically in a timely manner, very accordingly. It's almost like the clock isn't real, time isn't necessarily real unless the stars say so. And the stars are very much saying that what you're feeling is the desire to graduate, the desire to continue to learn after a period of relief, downtime. You are likely being asserted in your level or at your level of wisdom and knowledge. And now it's actually time to move in it. Like the Sabian image says, wisdom is knowledge in action. And so it is a time of moving away from action being only associated with work. The work is now more heightened, as in, what does the work mean for the rest of society at large? And this could just be reflected in your family and friends, in your community. I want to take time to pick out the tarantula, which is the crossroads. Fire, yes, a lot of wands, Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands, the Star, okay? And the Four of Wands to have you acknowledge the passage of time and the completion of a period of time where you were working on something through the proverbial rolling up the sleeves, pushing up the sleeves, the blood, sweat, and tears, the buckling up, buckling down, strapping on the boots. Now we are looking at more philosophical meanings, spiritual movement and shaping at a crossroads. Four of Wands, okay? Thank you, collective. May we have a animal spirit for the new moon in Libra for the collective. Is this for next week, for the next 28 days? Thank you so much. Okay, we have the otter trying to fly out. Water sign. We have the stingray, another water sign, and we have the butterfly, an air sign. A symbol of transformation through cathartic transformation. Okay, of course, we have the snake with the flower of life, a earth animal spirit, okay? And then we have fire, Scorpio, which is also associated with water, the transformative aspect of water and fire movement, how fire moves across lands. And this is not to invoke or incite any fear. It is more attuned to how water and fire shape land. Now, remember how we always consider the body an extension of your physical body, but also your internal processing, including the mind. Your mind is shifting, and that means your perspective, your lens is reshaping, and its form is shifting as well and being reshaped. And from there, you look out and you see a difference in the landscape. You notice the landscape, and this is very much attuned with temperance. So can you make it through the release? Can you escape from fear, meaning confront it, meaning own it, own the demise of the structures and fundamentalism that isn't allowing you to evolve and transform? So in between, yes, Sagittarius, in between Scorpio and Capricorn, right? Mercury is very active in its transit through Scorpio. It's experiencing trines and all sorts of things. So this is giving me all of that Scorpio energy, which we are here for it, aren't we? It is the Mars hour on the moon's day. The moon is currently in Libra, rising to its darkest point at the new moon. It's about meditation. It's about being in agreement with where your ancestors are nudging, elbowing you, perhaps, to move towards. Okay, and this also marks the beginning of the pre-shadow phase of the upcoming Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, okay? So a lot of what we experience over the next 10 days, we will review, we will encounter it, face it in our matrix, in our reality, from our internal stirring into the conscious waking life, and then how will we process? How can we process? How can we be attentive and analytical and process so that we then move in it? That's the third part of the retrograde. That's the post-shadow phase. Processing, applying knowledge. Mercury retrogrades are about accessing. The weather did a thing, and my allergies are back. Okay. With the snake here too, the flower of life. Are you expanding? Are you contracting? Neither is right, neither is wrong, because with the star card, sometimes we can associate that with the Nine of Cups. It's not necessarily attuned to the Nine of Cups if we go by what the Hermetic teachings, but through experiencing practice with the tarot, we understand that Nine of Cups vibration is a lower octave of the star. But are you now at a point where you can expand, or do you need to release and contract? Or is it ever that linear? It is in some cases, in some instances, in some aspects of your life, you're being called and asked to remove and release. In other aspects, we're being called to inspect, detect. In other aspects, we're being called to be honest. Wow, Unus Mundus, another symbol of the snake, right? Okay, synchronicity and synchronicity. Now we move on to the wild unknown. Thank you so much for being here. Wow, dissolution. Okay. So again, removal. Card 65, solution. Let's do some shuffling here for the new moon in Libra, for the collective. Yep, Jupiter in the water sign of Cancer. Jupiter being a higher octave, a benefic, higher octave of Venus. Now, how does your joy and pleasure, how does that translate for the, again, society at large? Is it meaningful? Thank you so much for being here. Resin, and then yes, copper, a metal associated with Venus, Venusian energy. So card 23 is the attunement to the Empress, but an Empress who has worked through whatever they needed to work through, which in this case, becoming who they need to become, forming and shaping a new environment, or being formed and shaped by the environment. Now you do see that it may take work. It will take certain levels of adjustment. It will take time. It takes time to build, to form, and then to look and appear. Okay. So before it appears, what are you actually forming? Maybe what has formed. Okay. What can inspire your value to ascend from descension, right? You're maybe calling in love. Okay. Sugar is this, I would say, is the, we can say, lower vibration of the Empress, which Scorpio digs through that. Scorpio with the Seven of Cups, it is that debauchery. It is looking at behaviors and what shapes the path. All paths essentially lead to the same point. You could have Leo placements, Venus in Libra, anyone? Yes, Venus is in Libra, Taurus as well. Resin, another fixed state. Sugar, it could be anything. It could be diet, it could be products, it could be in what we ingest, what we look at. A lot of what we look at, how we want to look, how we want to appear, is that authentic? What forms you? What shapes you? What has shaped you to become who you are today, and where are you going from there? This is a very intense week. Not gonna lie. You're taking your power back. Here's synchronicity card 63. We have card 31 with sugar. And we have card 23, the Venusian copper. Chocolate. This reminds me of what Kim Krantz talks about in her description of her oracle card. There's copper in chocolate, which is a meditation. Remember that you come with these ancient symbols and knowledge, and just because it's a small part of you, It doesn't mean it shows up in a small way. Okay? Wow. Resin is card 38. Okay? The challenge being the Empress. Okay? Perhaps because the Empress is very relaxed, it's time to actually use Mercury and Scorpio to, and the Sun in Libra to balance, to see things on both sides, to see the aspects on both sides, okay? I don't know why. I was talking a lot yesterday, so maybe I don't want to be so loud. Joy. Okay, can we get 3 cards to clarify? Wow. Thank you so much, Collective, for being here. This is also the aspect of too much of a good thing, or things aren't always as they appear. Okay, the Queen of Swords and the Hierophant popping out, and the Queen of Cups, Cancer energy, Taurus energy, or I'm sorry, Gemini energy, and then Libra. A lot of Libra and shadow aspect of Virgo. We just passed the moon, the aspect of the moon in Virgo meeting with the South Node and opposing the North Node in Pisces. Here's the Hierophant, Taurus energy. Okay, what can you deconstruct and reconstruct? What needs reconstruction? What needs actual order and construction? Okay, coming out of a Tower moment, you've been enlightened. It's not something that you didn't know. It's something you already knew that was brought back to your attention fully in your face, okay? Scorpio energy, the High Priestess. You've known this, okay? Can we get clarity on resin? The situation. 9 of Wands. What has shaped this action? How you take action, where you pour strength, where you pour your will, okay? What's directing that? Is it shadow? Is it light? Is it both? Integration of both? Is it a relationship? 9 of Wands. Moon in Sagittarius. As the day goes by, what happens throughout the day, right? How does the day shape your timeline? Days build up, don't they? Okay, this is karmic, it's fated. A lot of the flame within you, is it there? Have you gotten to it? Is it something you see internally, getting a lot of Virgo? Okay. Can we get clarity on copper? Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. Yes. This is a passage of time simply, but also this is the adjustment from your ancestors. This is your ancestors speaking to you, screaming at you. Are you acknowledging them? Are you listening to them? Are you moving with them? There is knowledge innately or within you that is trying to go from innate to being exposed, cracking through. It's not just appearing in a certain manner and giving into what you've been told is the right way, right? Now you've seen what that means for you. You've seen what letting go means to you. You've seen what you know what surrendering means to you. Now, where can you actually take control, more control, and where can you let go even more? Okay, that is quite a challenge. The Four of Cups, blended pleasure and luxury. That's giving sugar. Where are you? Are you just bored? Okay. Can we get clarity on sugar as the basis? Yeah, okay, all these three cards wanted to come out. And Gemini, the Lovers, Major Arcana number 6 at the bottom of the deck. This is internal alchemization before external production, reproduction. The Tower card, Mars energy. The Queen of Swords, Libra, shadow aspect of Virgo last week, last decan. Okay, what have you learned even in the last 4 to 5 weeks? Moon in Cancer, what was the last week? You've been enlightened to something through just a few words or conversation, okay? Maybe, yes, where you sought refuge, what helped you to find an escape, it led you to becoming enlightened. It wasn't easy. When you go to your escape and your escape mirrors back to you a reality, that's when the Tower occurs, right? Moon in Cancer with luxury blended. It's that heightened pleasure state when you're in need of escape. But that's also your ancestors through someone else, okay? Reflected. They don't have to be related to you. It could feel harsh. It could have felt harsh. This is something you've known anyway, okay? You know that this wasn't hidden, but you maybe attempted to hide it. Collective, take what resonates. Wow. Should I even post this? It's intense. Scorpio season, I mean, isn't it always the truth? Scorpio truth. Okay. A lot of Hierophant, a lot of Taurus energy here. Okay. Thank you so much for wonderful spiritual guides. Can we get actually what you're moving away from, what's at the top of your mind, and what you're looking forward to? 3 cards. Thank you so much. It's that spontaneous combustion, okay? Looking at higher emotions, what your emotions guide you to higher emotions. Not necessarily control where your emotions lead you to, okay? What actions do you take in this emotional state? You're attempting to leave that behind, okay? And it was maybe something that you want to hide from, okay? At the top of the mind is actual happiness and contentment, okay? 10 of Cups. This is that Mars in Pisces, okay? Even though it may have been that illuminating shock to the system, it is meant to lead you to truth that then leads you to actual contentment by showing up as who you are authentically, okay? You notice that. Again, this could have been a quick effect, or something said to you, a truth, a fine combed truth, snippety snappy words. 10 of swords, 10 of wands, Saturn in Sagittarius. Okay, accepting the challenge, realizing what you've reaped is because of what you've sown. Okay, now carry that through. Will you finish it? You're close to wrapping that up. That's a cycle that needs to end so that you can celebrate and come into the new. Okay, thank you so much. Wow, very enlightening, very cool. What a new moon in Libra. What, I didn't know this meditation would come up. I should have known with the Scorpionic Mercury in Scorpio. Okay, and Pluto now moving direct. Where do you stand in your power? Okay. So yeah, there are a lot of signs here. Cancer, shadow aspect of Gemini. Okay, your decisions, your choices, how you let others affect you, your mind and your emotions. Are they meeting together to work in your favor, or are they creating more blocks along the way? Even so, you are very strong. You have the will and the strength. Okay, that's who you are. You're strong-willed. So you're looking forward to, maybe, I don't know if I mean looking forward to it, but you are addressing it. You are attempting to then come into managing this final part after this last checkpoint, finishing it, wrapping that up, wrapping that cycle up. Father of Wands, okay? Perhaps you understand there is strength that can be part of the transmutation, okay? Part of the alchemical transfer of knowledge. It comes from the family line. Now, perhaps the father, okay? Religion, or just your spiritual understanding. You are seeing this in reality, okay? Again, how it affects your mind, but more so mind and emotional connection, mind and heart with Pisces and Scorpio, Father of Cups. Have you become too hardened? Either way, you are realizing the treatment, how it is transferred to you, through you, and the experience and what it means for you emotionally. Father of Cups, Scorpio energy, Sagittarius, Leo, and more Scorpio energy with the Father of Wands, and then Ace of Pentacles. Okay, at this, the Lord of the root of the power of earth, okay? Love for you or love for another, calling in wealth, an abundant state, okay? Taking ownership, becoming a leader in your own life and in your emotional life, attuning to spirit and what it means for your emotions as you take charge in reality at work and in your relationships. Becoming drawn and magnetically called to this gate, okay? It's real. It is emotional, it's psychological, it's intellectual, it's spiritual. It's also becoming very real, and it's becoming very difficult for you to ignore it. in your surroundings. Wow. In your surroundings, the Wheel of Fortune already here. Jupiter energy, okay. It is up at the sky. It's attempting to help you become this elevated version of the Empress, regardless of your gender. A lot of fixed sign energy here. Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo. Ancestral visions, wisdom. Eight of Pentacles. Yes, you can work on this little by little. Wow, 8. Eight of Wands and Eight of Pentacles. Thank you, Collective. This is wild. Okay. What's your advice? Your advice is the Hierophant. Order. Perhaps through organization, day to day, hour by hour, as I like to say, and day by day, how that builds up into the week, into months. Months become years. Years become the passage of time, the Wheel of Fortune. This is internal. This is from knowing to applying that understanding, okay? What does it mean for how you take action and what you do from those points, okay? The key, a secret becomes, yes, a lot of divine masculine here, the Hierophant, Taurus energy. You know, with Hecate, the Dark Mother, attuning you to light, bringing this into the light for a reason. That's the advice is don't run from it, right? Don't attempt to escape your shadow, the Mother of Swords. It can hurt in a way where we're not here to make you feel shame or guilt trip you. Okay? We're meant to assert that you are asserted. What I mean is your spiritual guides are surrounding you and they are asserting you, meaning they are moving you through this process by guiding you and protecting you, which has been a resounding, repetitive message over the last few readings. Okay, the outcome, if you follow this trajectory, we have the Fool at the bottom of the deck, Aries energy. We have Seven of Wands, putting down the fight, coming to meet yourself at a true level. Perhaps it's, again, rebuilding, regaining momentum. Sun of Wands, Sagittarius, and a shadow aspect of Scorpio. How far can this truth take you is the real question here, is the real outcome. Not limiting yourself by only supposing that this is a mental thing or an emotional thing, or it's a bunch of spiritual mumbo jumbo. It's all of it is intertwined and combined to reshape and reformat and shift your perspective, the lens, and allow for new lands to be covered. Son of Wands, Knight of Swords, or Knight, I don't know why I keep calling the Wands swords. Is there a glitch in the mind that disturbs the heart, the emotions, and also creates a fight, a struggle in your external world? A fight to allow for spirit to be the truth that guides you. Okay, Son of Wands, Seven of Wands. Mars and Leo. A lot of Leo energy here, a lot of fire. Okay. Wow, will I even post this? How much time? Okay. I'm going to clarify that Ace of Pentacles, Father of Wands, and Father of Cups. Okay. Who are these folks around you? Two very spiritually heightened, maybe one religious, one very emotionally tied to truth and vision, spirit. Okay, both are spirit incarnate, right? They are only a reflection of you, the Empress, okay? They are helping you to reshape your landscape internally so that the world, you can grab the bull by the horns again, right? More clarity. This is healing. This is about power, your time, your energy. Okay. This is cutting, frustrating truth. This is looking at all your tools to garner this level of self-acceptance and self-awareness that now guides you to become more attuned to yourself, leveling up in your attunement to self and how you create and how you shape. You are up there, you're trying to bring it down, okay? So you've been giving. Now receive, okay? Son of Wands and Seven of Wands. Why? Clarity on the Son of Wands and the Seven of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Ask for help where you need it. Or again, restructuring, reshaping, redesign. Three of Swords, Saturn and Libra. Three of Pentacles, Mars and Capricorn. How you take action from what you learned. Even though you have to show up in the same spaces, will you do it the same? Five of Wands. You have every ability. You are being guided. This is frustrative. It is frustrating. Again, it's like you're being looked over, watched, supervised. There are many eyes on you. Again, this is the type of spiritual monitoring where the stars are agitating you to become anew, to show up anew for that redesign and the reshaping and restructuring. Okay. Three of Swords, Three of Wands, Three of Pentacles. Sun in Aries. That's the opposite sign of Libra. This is for you through the help of relationships, through what you seemingly, maybe truthfully, realistically, you have suffered enough. It is time for you to own your power and reshape your reality, because you have every tool, you have every right, you have knowledge, you have power, okay? You have creation energy. Magician next to the Empress. New landscapes, a brand new you, okay? Surrender to you, only to you, the truth. Time, magnetically drawing in, being called, being drawn to this the next 6 months. Can you own it? Holy moly. Will I even post this? Thank you, collective. I honor you. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're new here, hit like if you like the message, or if you just feel like supporting, want to support the channel and myself, and leave me a comment. I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Libra. I'll be back with more collective messages, perhaps a more up to speed. The ancestors have spoken. Take what resonates. I honor you. I'll be back soon enough. Ciao.